ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ today is by Satguru Amardas Ji Maharaj on Ang 600 of Guru Granth Sahib Jio in Sort Ragni। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਸੋਰਠ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ। ਭਗਤ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਭਗਤਨ ਕਉ ਦੀਆ, ਨਾਉ ਹਰ ਧਨ ਸੱਚ ਸੋਏ। ਅਖੁੱਟ ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਕਦੇ ਨਿਖੁਟੈ ਨਾਹੀ, ਕਿਨੈ ਨ ਕੀਮਤ ਹੋਏ। ਭਗਤ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਭਗਤਨ ਕਉ ਦੀਆ, ਨਾਉ ਹਰ ਧਨ ਸੱਚ ਸੋਏ। ਅਖੁੱਟ ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਕਦੇ ਨਿਖੁਟੈ ਨਾਹੀ, ਕਿਨੈ ਨ ਕੀਮਤ ਹੋਏ। ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲੇ ਹੋਏ, ਹਰ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੱਚ ਸੋਏ। ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਬਦੀ ਹਰਿ ਪਾਇਆ ਜਾਏ, ਬਿਨ ਸਬਦੈ ਜਗ ਭੁੱਲਦਾ ਫਿਰਦਾ, ਦਰਗਹ ਮਿਲੈ ਸਜਾਏ ਰਹਾਉ। ਇਸ ਦੇਹੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਪੰਜ ਚੋਰ ਵਸਹਿ, ਕਾਮ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਲੋਭ ਮੋਹ ਅਹੰਕਾਰਾ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਲੂਟਹਿ ਮਨਮੁਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੂਝਹਿ, ਕੋਇ ਨ ਸੁਣੈ ਪੂਕਾਰਾ। ਅੰਧਾ ਜਗਤ ਅੰਧ ਵਰਤਾਰਾ, ਬਾਝ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਬਾਰਾ। ਹਉਮੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਕਰ ਕਰ ਵਿਗੁਤੇ, ਕਿਹੁ ਚਲੈ ਨ ਚਲਦਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ। ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਹੋਵੈ ਸੋ ਨਾਮ ਧਿਆਵੈ, ਸਦਾ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਸਮਾਲ। ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਹਰ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵੈ, ਨਦਰੀ ਨਦਰ ਨਿਹਾਲ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਗਿਆਨ ਸਦਾ ਘਾਟੇ ਚਾਨਣ, ਅਮਰ ਸਿਰ ਬਾਧ ਸਾਹਾ। ਅਨ ਦਿਨ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹਿ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤੀ, ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਸਚ ਲਾਹਾ। ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਸਤਾਰਾ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਰਤੇ ਹਰ ਪਾਹਾ। ਅਨ ਦਿਨ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹਿ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤੀ, ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਸਚ ਲਾਹਾ। ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਸਤਾਰਾ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਰਤੇ ਹਰ ਪਾਹਾ। Satguru Amardas Ji Maharaj blessing us today. Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj begins Shabad Bhagat Khajana Bhagtan Kau Diya, Nau Har Dhan Sach Soe. Bhagat Khajana. Khajana means treasure. There's a treasure cove in Gurmukh. What treasure cove is that? What chest of treasure is that? Of Bhakti. And you'll see here that there's a sihari upon the tatta of Bhagat, which means that the meaning of this is Bhakti. What is Bhakti? Bhakti has many different translations, and we can look at it in many different ways. But simply, it's loving worship. It's that true love, that true adoration, that true love. And Guru Sahib Ji says, Bhagat Khajana Bhagatan Kau Diya. The true Guru has blessed Bhagatan, has blessed the devotees, has blessed those who serve the Guru at all times. He has blessed them with Bhagat Khajana, with the treasure chest, with the treasure cove, with the treasury of loving worship, of true love, of Bhakti. Bhakti meaning this true love, this true worship, this true adoration from inside. And with this treasure, what have they bought? Nau har dhan sach soe. Nau har dhan, the dhan, the wealth of the Nau, the name of Hari, the name of God. And Guru Sahib Ji says, Sach soe. This wealth is the true Sach. Now, Sach in this case means that which will remain forever. Nau har dhan sach soe means that the wealth of God's name will never ever end. The wealth of God's name will never run out. It will forever remain. It is eternal. And Gurmukh ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, Another way of looking at this, as many Sampradaya scholars look at this, is now hadatan sach soe. With the wealth of bhakti, with the treasure of bhakti and the wealth of God's name, with the wealth of God's name, the treasure of true love, of loving devotional worship inside, the devotees have found sach soe, have found that eternal truth, Akal Purkh Vaheguru. And Gurmukh Pyareo, another way of looking at this is now hartan sach soe, that with the treasure of bhakti, of loving worship, and with the wealth of God's name, the devotees have found sach soe. Soe can be translated as soba. Soba means glory. They have found true glory in this world. And Gurmukh Pyareo, if we look in the Bani of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj tells us about those people who have meditated upon Akal Purkh and about their glory. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, again in Sort Ragni, Guru Amar Das Ji says, Jin har man vasya se dar sache sachiara. Those people who in whose mind Hari abides, God abides, they are known as the true ones in the court of the Lord. And Guru Amar Das Ji says, Una di soba jug jug hoi koi na mitan hara. Their praise, their glory, it vibrates and it echoes throughout all of time. Jug jug. Throughout all of the ages, throughout all of time. Koi na mitan hara. No one can take away, no one can erase, no one can delete, no one can take away from their glory, from their praises. So Gurmukh Pyareo, now haratan sach soe, because they have the wealth of God's name and because they have the treasure of loving worship, they have received glory which can never ever be taken away from them. Bhagat Rav Das Ji's name will remain beyond the end of time. Bhagat Rav Das Ji's name is eternal. Bhagat Kabir Ji's name, the name of Bhagat Naam Dev Ji, of all of these Bhagats, is eternal. Akhot naam tan kade nikhutta nahi. Akhot, never ending, never exhausting, is the tan, is the wealth of God's name. No one can ever say, oh, I've spent all of God's name. No, it can never be done. There is no end to the wealth of God's name. Kade nikhutta nahi. And again, Guru Amar Das Ji tells us to stress the point again. Kade, at no point can it nikhutta, can it run out. Kina na qeemat hoye. And if someone says that I could find the qeemat, I couldn't find the price, the value, the worth, no one can even think of kina. No one at all can even think of putting a price, can even think of putting a value, can even think of putting a worth upon the wealth of God's name. It is beyond all prices. It is priceless. It is beyond all estimations. Naam tan mukh ujle hoye. Those people who have the tan, the wealth of God's name, through the wealth of God's name, their mukh, their faces are ujle. Their faces are radiant. Their faces are glowing. What does this mean? This means any specks upon them of sins from this life, from any past life, by meditating upon God's name, all of those sins have been washed away, and now they are glowing, they're shining. Just as we read every day in the last few Tukam Japji Sahib, Jini naam te aya gaye misakad kaal, Nanak te mukh ujle keti shuti naal. Their mukh are ujle, their faces are glowing, are bright. And this is both physical and spiritual. Spiritually inside they're glowing. And when you see their face, when you look into their eyes, you can see the glow of God's name. Har paya sach soe. They have paya, they have found that Hari, that Lord God Vaheguru, who is the eternal truth, Sach. Man mere, oh my mind, Gur sabdi har paya jaye. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj is talking to their mind, but they're talking to all of us. Oh people of the world, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj is saying to themselves, Man mere, oh my mind, know this, Gur sabdi har paya jaye. If you want to find God, you can only find God through the Shabad, through the Guru's words, through the Guru's Bani, through the Guru's Mantar. Meditate upon the Guru's Bani, the Guru's words. Meditate upon the Guru's mantra, the Waheguru mantra. That is the way you'll paya, that is the way that you'll find God. There's no other way to find God. Guru Amar Das Ji stresses his point. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj says, bin sabda, without the name of God, without the Shabad, without the Guru's Bani, without the Guru's wisdom, jag polada phirda. This whole jag, this whole world is polada, is wandering around, phirda, is deluded by doubt and wandering around. Dargah mila sajai. And dargah, in the court of God, those people who have wandered, those people who are deluded, they will find sajai, they will be punished. Their punishment is that they're wandering around in this world, in this cycle of reincarnation. Rahao, pause and think about this. Guru Amar Das Padshah Ji says, Is dehi andar panch chor vasa hain. Guru Amar Das Ji says, Is dehi andar, inside your dehi, inside your body. Panch chor. Panch means 5, chor means thieves. There are 5 thieves which live inside you. Gurmukh Pyaro, many times we think, oh, what does this mean? And there is a Native American story which comes from the Cherokee tribe. And it says that there was an old grandfather sitting down and he was telling his grandson stories. And he said, my grandson, inside us there's a battle of 2 wolves. Inside all of us. One is evil. That wolf is made up of anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, lies, falsehood. All of those types of things. And the other wolf is good. It stands for joy, peace, love, hope, contentment, harmony, peace. And the grandson sat for a moment and is said to have asked his grandfather, oh grandfather, so which wolf wins? And the grandfather replied very quietly, the one that you feed. So Gurmukh Pyaro, even though this story is outside of Gur Itihas, the Guru's history, but still it's teaching us, as Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj is blessing us here, inside us there's a constant battle going on, and there's these 5 thieves which live there. Kaam, desires, krodh, anger, lobh, greed, more attachment, and ahankar, ego. And just as that grandfather told his grandson, the wolf which you feed wins. In the same way, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj is telling us today, O Gurmukh Pyare, O people of the world, instead of feeding your desires, instead of feeding your anger, instead of feeding your hatred, instead of feeding your ego, instead nourish your soul with the wealth of God's name. Kaam, krodh, lobh, moh, ahankara, Guru Amar Das Ji says, they live inside us. Desires, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. Amrit loot hain. And what do these 5 do? They loot hain, they rob us of our amrit. They rob us of the nectar inside us. Amrit loot hain, manmukh nahi bujh hain. They are looting us of the opportunity of meditating on the amrit, on the immortal nectar of God's name. Manmukh nahi bujh hain. But the people who follow their mind, the people who are feeding these wolves that are inside us, they do not bujh hain, they do not understand that they are chucking wood onto the fire. Koe na sunai pukara. And Gurmukh Pyaro, all of those people that the manmukhs, those who follow their mind, have put their faith in, none of them can hear their cries, none of them can alleviate their pain. Their pain can only be alleviated through the Guru's Shabad, through the Guru's words. Anda jagat, this whole world is blind. Andhvartara, and everything we do is enveloped in this blindness. The whole world is blind and everything we do is tainted with that blindness. Baj Guru, without the Guru's understanding, without the Guru's wisdom, Gubara. There is darkness all around us on all 4 sides. Homme mera kar kar vigutte. The whole world is vigutte, is ruined. How? By homme, by ego. By saying mera, by saying this belongs to me, this belongs to me. This is mine, that possessiveness inside. Keho chalai na chaldiyan naal. Keho, nothing goes with you. Chalai na chaldiyan naal. Nothing of this will go with you when you die, O human being. Gurmukh hove, so naam tyave. But those people who focus upon the Guru, they tyave. What do? They face towards the Guru. They are Gurmukh. Upon their mukh, upon their mouth. Another meaning of Gurmukh, upon their mouth is the Guru's words at all times, Gurmukh. And they always keep the Guru mukh, they always keep the Guru at the center of their lives. So Naam Tyave, they listen to what the Guru says, and the Guru says, meditate upon the Naam. Naam Tyave. Tyave means to meditate upon, to chant, to sing the name of God. Sada Har Naam Samal, Sada. Not 1 minute, not 2 minutes, not 3 minutes. All of the time, 24 hours a day. They samal. They remember. Samal literally means to remember. And to contemplate upon, to think about, to meditate upon. The name of Hari, the name of God. Sachi Bani Har Gun Gave. Nadri Nadr Nihal. Sachi Bani. Through the true Bani, through the true Bani of the Guru's words. Har Gun Gave. They sing the Gun, the praise of Hari, or Vaheguru. Nadri Nadr Nihal. And when we sing the Guru's Bani, when we chant the Guru's name, when we chant the Vaheguru Mantra, when we chant the Guru's Bani, what will happen? We will be blessed with the Nadri, with the glance of grace of God, and we will become Nihal. Nihal means all of our pains will be alleviated. Satgur Gyan Sada Kat Chanan. And inside those devotees, inside their Kat, inside their heart, inside their inner being, I use the word heart to translate Kat, but Kat is really talking about inside your spiritual being. Inside them, they always have the Chandran, they always, Sada means forever, they always have the Chandran, the light, they always have the glow of Satgur Gyan, of the eternal Guru's Gyan, the eternal Guru's wisdom. Amar Shabad Saha. And whatever they say, any Amar in this case means hukum. It means that their command works even over the Sir, even over the heads of Badsaha, of kings of this world, of worldly kings. The Gurmukh Pyare, we can see a Sakhi from Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj's time, when Humayun, the emperor, comes after losing the battle with Sher Shah Suri. And Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj is sitting with children and is teaching them the Gurmukhi alphabet. And Humayun comes and he expects the Guru to stand up. Or he expects the Guru to acknowledge that the Emperor of India has come, and the Guru keeps teaching the children. And infuriated, Humayun goes to grab his sword. But when he tries to grab his sword, his hand freezes there at that point. And he falls to the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, when his hand freezes upon his sword, Guru Angad Dev Ji says, "O Humayun, that sword which you could not use in the battlefield against Sher Shah Suri, you're going to pull that out against innocent children and against holy men. Have some shame. Where was your bravery in the field of battle?" And at that point, Humayun fell down to the Guru's feet. So Gurmukh Pyare, Amar Shabad Saha, their hukum, their commands, even work upon the heads, even are accepted by the Badshah, the worldly kings. Aam din bhagt kar hai din rati, an din, day and night. They engage in bhakti, in loving worship. They meditate the name of God. They chant the Guru's name. Ram Naam Sach Laha. They take the true Laha, the true profit of this life, of God's name. Nanak, Sadhguru Amar Das Ji says, Ram Naam Nistara. You can be liberated through the name of Ram, through the name of God. Sabdarte Harpaha. Those people who have imbued themselves, who have completely coloured themselves. Ratte means to completely imbue yourself, to immerse yourself in God's name, in the Shabad, in the Guru's mantra. Harpaha. They have found God. Harpaha means they abide close to God. So Gurmukh Pyare, on one side there are the wolves of desire, anger, ego, greed and attachment. And on the other side there is the wealth of God's name. Let us do Ardas. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj Ji blesses us that we all are blessed with the wisdom and we all are blessed with the love to engage in bhakti, in devotional worship, and chant the Guru's name together. ਅਨ ਦਿਨ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹਿ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤੀ, ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਸਚ ਲਾਹਾ। ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਸਤਾਰਾ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਰਤੇ ਹਰ ਪਾਹਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।